In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Victor Wembanyama and why I think he has the NBA super scared. There's teams talking about tanking just to get him, so let's get down and let's check him out. He's one of the most sought-after prospects ever of the NBA. Okay, so first, in this first clip, we have Victor Wembanyama. He gets that ball on the wing, and he's able to attack the basket along the baseline and basically bodies his man all the way to the middle of the key. First off, he has probably around a half a foot on this defender, so it's not going to be all that hard to attack, but by getting his shoulders at the same height, if not just a little bit lower than his main defender's shoulders, he's able to get leverage on his man. Now, he does go towards the baseline a bit more than I would like. I would personally prefer him to attack the basket more in a direct line, but what he's doing here is to try to get an angle or at least some leverage on his man to get his shoulder into him, so that he can take his two steps and basically do a veer step around his man to be able to finish at the rim. If you're a bit taller, this is what you'd be looking to do, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to make it in the NBA, you're going to need to be a lot more aggressive, and you need to hit that shoulder. You need to get your shoulder to basically pound that defender's shoulder there to force him to turn out of the way. At that time, you then use your elbow, as you can see him doing here, but a bit further out to lock this man behind him. And if he was to do that, he would have had an entire lane and there would have been absolutely nobody able to stop him, and he would have posterized this man hard. Here he shies away from a bit of contact. He could have made a quick pass potentially to this man. However, there are two guys who are potentially able to intercept that. He's then dribbling and takes a long step away from the baseline and shies away from the contact. Now, he does make this shot, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's got well over a foot on his man. He needs to be pounding that ball into that low block a lot more when you have that kind of a size advantage. But in the full court, he's going to be unstoppable, just like LeBron and many others. His footwork is also very good, trying to create a top foot so that he can attack it. Now, here he goes 2 dribbles towards the baseline. He does a quick hop, like if he's about to spin towards the middle, which then creates a new top foot. And then he's able to spin off of that, kicks his foot out so that he can get his right side in line, and then he's able to make that shot. Without that leg kick at the end, he's not going to be able to get his shoulder and elbow in line with the rim, which is why that leg kick is so important. Then he's able to finish with a nice high release, and I really doubt that there's anybody in the NBA who can block that. This is also why I always say to players, never dribble more than twice. Because let's say he dribbles here. So let's say he goes 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, and let's say he takes a 3rd dribble right there. So many players make a mistake on this half spin, they'll take a 3rd dribble. However, this man right here is collapsing on him. If he took a 3rd dribble, that would have been a steal. He knows that he has to stay limited to 1 to 2 dribbles, or else he's going to get it stolen, and that's what would have happened here. On the defensive end, he's got quick enough laterals to be able to block pretty much anybody. When it comes to bigger, powerful players like Embiid, or maybe even the Joker, he may have some troubles in the low post. However, that added length, the fact that he just needs to stand up and he can already touch the rim, is going to be very useful for him. Also, the fact that he can pretty much shoot from anywhere on the court is also very useful. So you're looking at a 7-footer, 7'4" or 7'5", depending on the stats that you look at, who can jack threes, who can drive to the rim, and who can finish in the mid-range. This is a 3-level scorer who's 7'4" or 7'5". There's a reason why he is the most sought-after player coming out of the NBA draft next year versus LeBron James. LeBron James was the other most sought-after player ever. It's because this guy can do everything. And we're looking at basketball players, and you're basically looking at a guy who's making these other 6'9" guys look like little children. This guy is going to be something special. The most impressive highlight of the whole entire series of him in the States is the fact that he went from the ground, grabbing the ball, making a pivot, and posterizing somebody. This is extremely hard, especially for a tall guy. Somebody who's 6 feet tall, to go low to high is not very hard. But for somebody who's 7 feet tall, to be able to get down low like he is there, and then to explode up off of one pivot is very impressive. and that was one heck of a poster. With players like Victor Wembanyama, there's not many of them. Chet Holmgren is the only other one who can really attest to somebody who's big, who can have handles, is the fact of how he shoots. As we can see here, I wish I could blow this up, but I can't. He's got really long arms. And when he shoots this ball, he comes from gather up to set point. His set point is in line with his spine. He doesn't jump all that high on his shot. He only gets maybe 6 or 7 inches versus the height of his body. That's really not that much. It's more like a foot for what us shorter people will be jumping from. And for him to be able to hit shots like that with a wingspan that he has, long arms, massive hands, this is not easy. For anyone who has longer arms, being able to shoot with somewhat proper shooting form is extremely hard because you really don't know where to place that basketball because your arms are so long. Proper shooting form usually has it behind your head. That's why he shoots with his elbows so far down versus many other players. It's because he's trying to get his shoulder and elbow in line with the rim, and this is how he was able to adapt. If you want the hardest basketball shooting workout to improve your shot, make sure to go check out the link down in the description below. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.